The CEO slammed a file onto the conference table. "David, you were caught sleeping during work hours. Effective immediately, you're fired." The room went silent. David slowly stood up. His eyes were red, his face exhausted, but he didn't argue. "Understood, ma'am," he replied quietly. As he turned to leave, several employees looked away in embarrassment. Nobody knew what David had been doing for the last 48 hours. Not even the CEO. 2 days earlier, the company's entire network had come under a massive cyber attack. A group of hackers was trying to steal customer data and shut down the company's systems. While everyone else went home, David stayed. Hour after hour, he fought the attack alone. He skipped meals. He skipped sleep. And he never told anyone. Because he believed protecting the company was his responsibility. By the time the attack was finally stopped, David had been awake for nearly 48 hours straight. Exhausted, he sat down at his desk for just a moment. And accidentally fell asleep. Unfortunately, that was the exact moment the CEO walked by. She saw an employee sleeping during office hours. Nothing more. Nothing less. So she fired him on the spot. But 3 hours later, everything changed. The company's head of cybersecurity rushed into her office holding a report. "Ma'am, there's something you need to see." The CEO took the report and began reading. Her confident expression slowly disappeared. "What is this?" she asked. The cybersecurity director swallowed hard. "It's the attack log from the last 48 hours. Page after page showed the same name. David Carter. Every critical system defense. Every blocked intrusion. Every recovered server. Every emergency security patch. David had handled them all." The CEO frowned. Where was the rest of the team? "Most of them were locked out by the hackers," the director replied. David was the only one who found a way back in. The room became silent. Then the director opened another file. "This is the scary part." He showed her a chart. Had David failed, the company would have lost millions of dollars and thousands of customer records. The business might not have survived. The CEO felt her stomach drop. "You're telling me the man I fired today saved the entire company?" "Yes, ma'am." She immediately grabbed her phone. David didn't answer. She called again. Nothing. A third time. Still no answer. For the first time in years, the CEO felt nervous. Meanwhile, David was sitting on a bus heading home. His company laptop rested beside him. His employee badge was already in his pocket. After 7 years of loyalty, it was over. Then his phone started vibrating. The screen displayed the CEO's name. David stared at it for a moment. And pressed decline. Across town, the CEO looked at her phone in shock. He had never ignored her calls before. She stood up instantly. "Find him." The entire executive team froze. "Ma'am. I don't care how. Find David before he disappears." Because she had just realized something terrifying. The company's most valuable employee was no longer working for her. Within an hour, the CEO's assistant finally located David. He wasn't at a luxury hotel. He wasn't meeting with competitors. He wasn't celebrating. He was sitting alone in a small neighborhood cafe, quietly drinking coffee. The CEO drove there herself. When she entered, David looked up in surprise. "Ma'am." For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then the CEO pulled out a chair and sat down. "I made a mistake." David remained silent. "I reviewed the cybersecurity reports," she continued. "I know what you did for this company." David gave a small smile. "Then you know why I was asleep." The words hit harder than she expected. For the first time, the CEO realized she had judged an employee without asking a single question. "I came to apologize," she said. David looked out the window. "Do you know what hurt the most?" The CEO shook her head. "You didn't trust me enough to ask why." Silence filled the table. Because deep down, she knew he was right. After 7 years of loyal service, he deserved at least one conversation before being fired. The CEO slowly nodded. "You're right." Then she placed a folder on the table. "I want you back." David didn't even open it. "What's in it?" "A promotion." David raised an eyebrow. The CEO smiled faintly. "Senior Director of Cybersecurity." His eyes widened. The position came with a huge salary increase, company shares, and authority over the entire security department. Anyone else would have accepted immediately. But David closed the folder and pushed it back. The CEO's smile disappeared. "No." David leaned forward. "This isn't about money." "Then what is it about?" He looked directly at her. "A company is only as strong as the people it values." The CEO felt the weight of those words. For years she had focused on profits, numbers, and performance reports. But she had forgotten something important. The people behind those numbers. And now the man who had saved everything was preparing to walk away. The CEO took a deep breath. "Tell me what it will take." David thought for a moment. Then he gave an answer she never expected. And it had nothing to do with himself.